We are not doctors. Nothing in this podcast should be taken as medical advice. Consult your physician before starting any workout routine. This is the Martial Heart Podcast.
Hey, everybody, welcome back. And this is episode 42 of the Martial Heart Podcast. Today, well, it's Sunday. For those of you who are into that sort of thing, it's the day of rest. And after all the work I did yesterday in the yard, overdoing it, and I'm sore and I'm tired, today is pretty much just a rest day. Not doing anything. Not going to work out. Not going to do it. Just tomorrow, back to work, back to cardiac rehab. And that's going to be the size of it. So I did some cleaning. I did some rearranging of the, $1 million studio. You can't see it because it was things behind the camera. So you'll never know. I could be lying, and I didn't do any of it. But I did. I actually did it. I don't know. Maybe I'll take a picture of it and post it on here, but I needed to arrange things so that I didn't have to reach over something and move something in order to get to something else and everything else. And it's not a very big table. In fact, I'll tell you how big this table is because it's square and it's 35 inches. So with a laptop that is, 14 inches wide, that doesn't leave you a whole lot of room. Leaves me about 12 inches on that side and about 8 inches on that side to put everything I need to touch during the course of a podcast. But the camera is there right behind the laptop. And then I have my phones, my heart monitor phone, which, funny story, when I was playing around with my mobile podcasting outfit last night, I discovered that this thing is constantly emitting a signal. So the microphone I was using can pick it up. It's just like a ticking, like a quiet little like that. But the microphone, it actually picks up that interference. And so while wearing the heart monitor, and it would make a different sound the closer you got to the actual heart monitor. So apparently I'm going to have to wait until I get rid of the heart monitor in order to have a clear audio on the mobile thing. Or there's just going to be this annoying little ticking and occasional, static in there. Because it's picking up the transmissions from the heart monitor to this phone. So that was interesting last night. I couldn't figure out. I was like, what is that ticking sound? And I'm moving the microphone around, and I aimed it at me, and it was me. I'm ticking. A ticking time bomb. So anyhow, I did some rearranging, and I created a shelf. And it's not a shelf. It's a basket sort of thing. And I turned it into a shelf where I can have an audio interface and my little amplifiers and stuff all in one little place on top of each other so that they're not, I'm not having to reach behind things and I have cables running everywhere and all that sort of stuff. It was getting annoying. So I straightened it all out and everything is now kind of organized to where it won't be in the way. I don't know. I was bored. So this week, near the end of the week, or middle of the week, whatever it was, in cardiac rehab, the topic for this week, for 2 days, I think it was stress management. And stress management, yeah, I'm not good at that at all. I was just one of those people who would just, hold it all in until you explode and you get it all over everybody. But I love getting online, and if you type in tips for stress management, and your little Google AI assistant will throw some stuff up there, and the number one thing that I'm saying is learn how to relax. Well, if I knew how to do that, we wouldn't be talking about this in class, would we? We wouldn't have to be having this conversation. If I knew how to relax, learn how to relax. Duh. That's the whole point. So it's annoying. But they come up with all sorts of interesting things. Exercise. I'm doing that. yeah, you still get stressed out. I don't know if it helps manage stress or not. The deep breathing exercises, which I don't know if anybody even understands those or if they work. Get enough sleep. Yeah, something I can never do. I'm never going to get enough sleep, and that's just the way it works out for me. And then eating well and a healthy diet, having a healthy diet and eating well. But then you get into things like meditation and mindfulness. Mindfulness just means being in the moment, really. It's an old Zen thing, the moment right now is the only thing that matters kind of philosophy. You can't do anything about the moment that just passed, and you also can't do anything about the moment that's approaching. The only thing you can do is live in the now, right now. And I guess that's sort of a way to not worry about the past and not have anxiety about the future, because you're only living for this very moment that you exist within right now. And it could be. I mean, it's a thing that a lot of Eastern peoples do. A lot of Eastern religions do that. Zen Buddhism is one, if I'm not mistaken, and so I don't know how to do it. I mean, I have a feeling that a lot of the stress situations that we have might be uniquely Western, peoples, or uniquely American peoples. Um, I don't know what the least stressed, country might be, the least stressed nationality. But I suspect they don't live in Western Europe or the United States or Canada. We have developed a lifestyle as, Western civilization because, we are the center of the universe, where everything is stressful because it's all about, you have to succeed, you have to push it, you have to make a lot of money, you have to get that promotion, you have to start that business has to be a success. And oh my God, if you make a mistake, then your career is over, and cancel culture and everything else that goes along with it. And we put a lot of stress on ourselves, and a lot of it's probably unnecessary. But we don't spend any time being educated on managing that stress, or how to just not get stressed out about those things in the first place. Like, we're teaching kids from the time that they're old enough to walk that there's a competition in this life, and that they have to succeed, and they have to work hard, and you have to make something of yourself, and you can't just be happy with who you are. You can't just be happy in your circumstances. You have to constantly be striving to improve everything. And I don't know if that's smart. I don't really know. We put a lot of pressure on ourselves and on our kids and everything else to be that way, to think of everything kind of as a competition. And that makes everything stressful, because even going to work, when I worked in corporate organizations, one of the things that I had to worry about as an employee, as a salaried management person in a corporate environment, was, when am I going to be the sacrificial lamb that gets, slaughtered when they need someone to blame for what went wrong? And because that's kind of what happens in a lot of those meetings, is who are we going to throw under the bus? And eventually it's going to be you. You might dodge that bullet this time, but eventually it's going to be you. And it doesn't matter if you're a vice president or a regional manager or whatever. Eventually that comes for you too, because especially if there's like upper echelon management changes, like they bring in a new regional vice president. Well, now they're going to want to eliminate everybody who is loyal to the previous regional vice president, because they don't want to have any conflict. And if you're lucky, you might survive those types of things. But if not, you're going to get cut. And it happens all the time. And those things are stressful. You're just stressed out every day, just going, man, I can just go to work tomorrow and not have a job, because not even for any reason, for anything that I'm responsible for. It can just happen. Or, all of a sudden there's a secret meeting, and, we're going to close the company because they had to keep it all a secret so that the stock, wouldn't fall, or any number of other things. Everything is stressful. And so, or, now for me and other heart patients, just walking down the street, I could just keel over and die because my heart just might decide that today's the day. It's the big one. So, I mean, everything is stressful. So it's kind of funny when you're going through the most stressful thing in your life, because of the number one, the physical, the health aspects of it, and the emotional and mental aspects of it, the physical toll that it takes on your body, and the recovery, and all the medicines that may or may not work and have all these side effects, and the financial burdens because you just had a major incident happen and you spent time in a hospital in an emergency room. They had to do procedures, operations, or whatever you had going on. So now you've got all that happening, and and you can't work for a while. Sometimes if you have open heart surgery, it can be months before you can get back to work. So now that's an additional financial strain. So you're going through what may be the most stressful thing ever in your life. And their advice is, learn to relax. Just learn to relax somehow. And make sure you eat right and get plenty of sleep, because, everybody knows that when you're stressed out, you can sleep all you want, right? I don't know. Sometimes I think people are stupid and they just say things, and because they definitely don't teach you how to do them. They're just, hey, make sure you get plenty of sleep. Well, how am I supposed to sleep? I'm stressed out all the time. They don't understand that, apparently. I'm going to have to find a yogi or a guru or something, who can get my Zen going and get me all, meditated out or something, so I can learn how to manage stress. I will say that as I've gotten older, a lot of things bother me less. Like I used to be really caught up in rat race kind of things, like trying to succeed and trying to compete against other people and things like that. I don't spend any time worrying about those anymore. I am a lot happier in middle age than I was when I was younger, because I'm not worried about those things. I'm not sitting around thinking about them all the time. Oh my God, what's going to happen to me if I show up for work today? I'm stable. I feel stable. Doesn't mean mentally. I mean, like stable in life, where things are relatively calm, and it stabilized a few years ago. And so I have the ability to not worry about the same things I worried about in my 30s. But, you still have things to worry about, and things still happen that are going to cause you stress. But, I don't know, for me, it was a lot worse when I was younger. Some of it I probably just learned to ignore, or, learned that I didn't have to worry about a certain number of things. But, yeah, I love it. They just tell you to learn to manage your stress. Here's a booklet, Watch this YouTube video of this, woman who's never had an actual job, but she talks to people and, tells them how they should live their life stress-free. And another funny thing, like I see a lot of content creators, now that I'm a content creator. I don't know, is that what I'm considered now, a content creator? I don't know. Whatever it is. I see a lot of people teaching other people how to be content creators. Like their job is to teach other people how to be content creators. Well, if you were good at it, you would be producing content and you would be the famous one. So if you're the person nobody's ever seen or heard and you're giving other people advice on how to succeed as a content creator, I don't know, maybe don't do that. Maybe you're in the wrong line of work. Or you need to get busy and make some content instead of just trying to tell other people how to do it, because those other people are out there doing it and being successful, and you're trying to make your way teaching other people how to do it, but you're not doing it. I don't know. Anyway, strange. It's a strange world we live in today, and I don't think it's going to get any better. I think it's just going to get weirder and weirder and weirder until, the great big asteroid comes and finally takes us out, or aliens, something. I don't know. So I'm going to wrap this up. So yeah, hey, go manage your stress. It's easy. Go take care of it. If you have any tips on how to manage stress that don't involve illicit drug use, leave them down in the comments. Shoot me a message on Facebook or something. I'm not saying I'm going to totally reject the illicit drug use thing, but don't put it in the comments in public. Okay? Thanks. See you later.